the School of Computational Sciences, Sri Shankarlal Sundarbai Sachin Jain College for Women, Chennai, India, in collaboration with Lincoln University College, Malaysia. We will now begin the occasion, invoking God's blessings.
Namo Siddhanam, Namo Ayariyanam, Namo Vajayanam, Namo Rohi Savasahunam, Yeso Panchanamokaro, Sarva Bhava Panasano, Mangalanam Chesadesim, Padamam Bhavai Mangalam. Padamam Bhavai Mangalam. Neerarum kadalodanda nilamadanda kelilozhagum Seerarum vadanameda tigalvarada kandamidil Ekkanamum nadithidanda dravidana tiranadum Sakkara pirai nodalum taritanarum tilagamume Adilaga vasanai polanai tulagum nimbamura Eppirisayum pugal manakka iranda perum Tamilanange Tamilanange சீரிழமை திரவியந்து செயல் மறந்து வாழ்த்ததுமே வாழ்த்ததுமே வாழ்த்ததுமே.
May I now request Madam Principal Dr. S. Padmavati to welcome the gathering.
Ma'am, you are on mute, ma'am.
Extremely sorry. Very good day to one and all. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. I am very much delighted to welcome all of you for the third international conference on recent advances in computing and communication conducted by the IQAC and School of Computational Studies of Sri Shankarlal Sundarbai Sachin Jain College for Women in collaboration with Lincoln University College, Malaysia. I'm equally delighted to welcome Dr. Balaganesh Duraiswamy, sir, the Faculty of Computer Science and Multimedia, Lincoln University, Malaysia. Thank you, sir, for being with us today, and a very warm welcome to you. I indeed take pleasure in welcoming the professors from other colleges, other universities across India, across globe, and also my dear colleagues, students of the college, the parents, and the press fraternity who have joined for this international conference. Sachin has been setting a milestone for itself to reach and go beyond what is possible. It is a arts and science college with having UG program, 15 UG programs and 4 PG program and 2 MPhil programs. We have BSc Computer Science, BSc Visual Communication, BSc Psychology, BSc Mathematics, Interior Design in the science stream, and almost all the branches of commerce are available. Sir, it is just a note to you about the college. Though this college has got a BSc Computer Science or BCA and MSc Computer Science, the students are given hands-on training in the latest technology, and the college, right from the peon to the principal and the management, are techno-savvy, and we explore that every possibility of information technology which can be used in the campus, and we use it for to reap the benefit to the maximum. And our students have taken up courses on AI Azure with the generous sponsorship of Honeywell through the ICT ACT Academy of Tamil Nadu. And we are also concentrating on skill development, where we can give them training on AI, AR, VR, IoT, robotics. And recently, we will have an IoT lab also functioning in the college. This is why, because the college always believes that information technology is an integral part of every discipline, be it a commerce discipline or a literature or an art and culture, be it anything. We are focusing on bringing information technology and make use of it for the advancement in every sector. I'm very sure that the seminar, the conference that we are organizing today, and the speakers who are going to be there, the research scholars, and also the resource persons whom we have invited to chair the session, will definitely bring a lot of knowledge into the platform. And I'm once again, I welcome the chief guest, the faculty members from other college, the resource persons who have agreed to be the chairpersons for each and every technical session, my dear colleagues, students, and every one of you who have joined. All the very best. Wish you all a great success in sharing knowledge across the globe. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. May I now request our chief guest, may I now request Dr. Gomati ma'am, Associate Professor and Head, Department of Computer Science, to take us through this theme of the conference.
Good morning to one and all present here. I'm indeed privileged to share the theme of this third international conference on recent advances in computing and communication with all of you. ICRACC 2022 is a unique forum bringing together scholars from the different countries to participate and transform the research landscape of the globe and carve a roadmap for implementation. It provides a valuable networking opportunity and brings a new era for the research scholars, students, professors, industrialists, providing insights to the recent trends and development in the field of computer science and informatics. The conference will feature invited talks and keynote addresses from eminent personalities all around the world and paper presentations. The conference provides a platform for the scientists, computer professionals, and students to present their findings to the international audience. The objective of this conference is dissemination of original research work on computing science and informatics. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am. It's my privilege and honor to request our chief guest, Dr. Bala Ganesh, Faculty of Computer Science and Multimedia, Lincoln University College, Malaysia, and our Madam Principal to inaugurate the conference, ICRACC 2020.
Yes, sir.
May I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible. Welcome, sir.
Okay, thank you. So thank you all to given this opportunity to me to participate this such kind of the wonderful conference. Thank you, Professor Dr. Padmavati ma'am, Principal. Give this opportunity to all of us to make this wonderful session. It's a kind of opportunity, and it's motivating the students to do in that new era, new technology, that is computing and communications area. We expect more research. It's not only from the researchers, it's also the students, those who are in the very basic level, to understand what is that area, that computing and data communication, how we can move or how we can initiate to do the research. That's a kind of motivations. They got a motivations. They can do some of the research on this area. So the data communication, there is every day-to-day life, there is a lot of different technology it's coming. Like it start from the normal telephone communications. Now we are using that wireless communications. Like that, the wireless communication, it's go to the next level. So it's from starting from Wi-Fi, WiMAX, like that. There's many different kind of communications we use. And one of the new communication technology we started to use, that is Li-Fi, light fidelity. So there is a lot of opportunity to the student to do such kind of research on that area. Nowadays, many of the citation it's happening in this area like light fidelity. So that's a way the student can choose that what is the latest updates and which area to start that research and what kind of work need to do that they can do easily. So that's what we have to reach their goal. Like just whoever is already having that many research, if they choose that area and start to do the same way, instead of that, which area is the latest one, latest trend, latest technology, to choose that area to easy to make it a new things, then the students can get easily more citations. So one of that area, that one we can cover in the communications, that is light fidelity. So we can do many research on that area also. So this title in the conference, it's really adapt to the latest trend and latest technology. So I appreciate that organization team and all this thing, those who are conducting this kind of new title it's given, that one it's really helped to the student to move to that the specific research path to reach their goal. So thank you all to conducting this kind of conference. Thank you for that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, sir, for those positive words.
Yes.
May I now invite Principal Ma'am and Balganesh sir to release the magazine, release the proceedings.
Yeah, it's pleasure, sir. So should
Yes,
sir
yeah.
say something? You want him to say inaugurate the conference and release the e-magazine? You
Yes,
want,
sir,
sir? Yes, sir. It will be it will be an honor to us if you could pronounce that. I inaugurate the conference and release the e-magazine, sir. E-conference proceedings, sir.
Yes, with pleasure. So to releasing that the conference proceedings, ICRAAC, it's a great privilege to us. Thank you all. So just we'll start to release that proceedings. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Organizers, you may please proceed with the release of the conference proceeding.
Thank you, Renama. Having listened to the positive words of our chief guest, let us hear from Dr. S.D. Deepa, Research Director, about our chief guest, Dr. Balaganesh sir's accomplishments. Deepa ma'am, over to you.
Thank you, Srividya ma'am. I am honored to introduce the guest of the day, Dr. Balaganesh. Balaganesh is the Dean of Faculty, Computer Science and Multimedia, Lincoln University College, Malaysia. He is one of the key members of Lincoln University College. He has 20 years of professional teaching experience, which include overseas experience in India, Oman, and Malaysia. Currently, he has moved to Germany. He has in-depth knowledge of information technology and latest wireless fidelity. His familiar research area is malware detection, web mining, and open source technology. He has given training in mobile application, open source ERP, software testing, and MySQL. He has developed software applications like timetable automation, online exam, also published book, computer application, and business. He has ability to explain technical concepts and ideas in clear and precise way. He has been actively involved in professional bodies, elected member in Michigan Association for Computer Users in Learning, USA, member in International Association of Engineering, Hong Kong, member in Institute for Engineering Research and Publication, member in Computer Science Teacher Association, Newark. He serves as editor, editorial board member, technical committee member, reviewer of international journals such as journals in the countries like Arab, Poland, Europe, and USA. He serves as international committee member towards international conference conducted in association with Springer and Scopus every year. He is one of the editor of Intelligent Computing and Innovation on Data Science, lecture notes in computer science and networks. He is also an editor of two book chapters, Internet of Robotic Things and Internet of Medical Things, which is Willy Press publication. Currently, he has moved to Germany as a professor of Berlin School of Business and Innovation, and he is in the process of setting up there in the Germany. And thank you so much, sir, for accepting our invitation. The time in Germany is 5:30 a.m. asked him to be the guest when he was in Malaysia, but last week he moved to Germany. Despite the time, he said that having agreed upon to be the guest, I will be joining even it is early morning. Thank you so much, sir, and so kind of you. Thank you.
Thank
Sir,
you,
you
ma'am.
have inspired all of us. I think this is a kind of a person the students should look in, the dedication and the commitment. Thank you very much, sir. Sorry for disturbing your morning sleep so much.
And it's not a problem. It's a great honor to me to participate as like such kind of this event. And
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
thank you. Thank you.
May I now request the audience and the participants to switch on the video for a moment for just clicking few pictures and capture the moment. Audience, please. Thank you, everyone. I hope, Ms. Reshma, can we move ahead? Thank you, everyone. I hope we have taken the pictures. The technical sessions will commence shortly. The participants and scholars, you can see the links posted in the chat box. It will be posted shortly. Request all the participants to join their respective tracks for the technical sessions with their respective links. Wishing all the participants, presenters, and scholars the very best. If you have any issues in joining technical sessions or any other queries, please feel free to post your questions in the WhatsApp group. They will be very happy to help you. A gentle reminder, please join us for the valedictory function at 12:15 p.m. in the same Zoom link. Looking forward to meet you in the valedictory also. Thank you, everyone. And the track 1 will continue the same Zoom link. Participants, just few seconds. You will be receiving the track details. I mean, already you've received the track details. The track link you will be receiving shortly. You can join the link based on your track number.
Srividya ma'am, can you just post it in the chat, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All the links, please post it in chat, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. For participants belonging to track 2, 3, and 4 will have a different Gmeet link. Track 1 will continue the same link. Participants, I hope you can see the links on the chat window. Thank you, everyone. Just a gentle reminder, Please do join us for the validity function at 12:15, the same Zoom meeting. Thank you, everyone. Sumala, you're there, ma'am? I request you to take over.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Track 1. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
I have posted the order of presentation for track 1. Please check in the chat box. Those who are going to present in the track 1, I have posted the presenters order list. I request the first presenter, Mr. Raj Subhash, to be ready with your presentation. Before that, I will be formally welcoming you. Good morning to one and all present here. I welcome you all once again for this first session of the third international conference on recent advances in computing and computations. I'm very happy to welcome our guest for this session, Dr. Balaganesha, Dean, Faculty of Computer Science, Lincoln University College, Malaysia, as the session chair. Welcome you, sir, once again.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you.
So there will be 9 presenters in this session, sir. So they will
Yes.
be presenting in. The presentation duration is 5 minutes and 2 minutes will be for the Q&A session. If the participants has any questions, they can post it in the chat box.
Yes. Okay.
Suma ma'am, Sir will be there for 1 or 2 presentation. Then I will take over. I am Deepa
Yes,
here.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. I call upon Mr. Raj Subhash to make your presentation ready. Yes, sir. You can start your presentation.
A very good morning to all the delegates on the panel. I'm honored to present the presentation about student admission prediction system using machine learning. Myself, Rajesh Kumar, and my teammate Raj Subhash will be presenting this meeting. So let me give an introduction about my system. So here we will go through the introduction, the features of machine learning, the algorithms which we use for the machine our system. To start with the introduction part, it is important to a person to choose his domain in this global market, in this challenging period of time. So when it comes in this current era of data science, the machine learning algorithms are now used to solve various challenges in multiple domains. When it comes to education, learning accelerating. So we propose, and now we will be proposing a system which uses 2 different types of regression algorithms, which is multilinear regression and random forest regression. So why we go for machine learning? The features. Machine learning methods are best described using linear and matrix algebra. Their behavior are the best understood using the tools of probability and statistics. Even in an uncertain and dynamic environment, handles a variety of data. Therefore, it is multitasking and multidimensional as well. Machine learning algorithm easily identifies the trend and pattern by handling multiple data and gives continuous improvement by accelerating the results. So the problem statement. In our country, 6 students graduate every year in various sectors, and the growth of few sectors vary. So experts suggest the prediction of this entry admission into the college and technological institutions plays a vital role. So addressing this problem will introduce the required changes that would bring the current youth and upcoming generations in parallel with the students who are in the foreign nations by upskilling them and giving the knowledge in the specific domain. So the algorithms which we use, random forest algorithm is the first one we choose for. So random forest is a supervised machine learning technique that uses both classification and regression problems. It is based on combining multiple classifiers to solve and improve the performance of the model. And this random forest technique uses multiple decision trees. The more the decision trees are, the more accurate the value is. So for multiple linear regression. Multilinear regression refers to a statistical technique that is used to predict the outcome of dependent variable based on independent variables. It can also be non-linear when the dependent and the independent variable do not follow a strict line. So both linear and non-linear regression track a particular response using 2 or more variable techniques. So, and the rest of the techniques will be illustrated by my teammate Raj Subhash. Thank you.
Hello all, good morning. So myself, Raj Subhash, will be continuing the rest of the presentation. As you can see, this is the data set that we have taken for training these algorithms. Generally, we have GRE scores, TOEFL scores, university rating, our undergraduates, GPA, and research paper, and letter of recommendations. So we have taken around 400 data sets, including 400 students with 9 columns separately having each data bases. And for each duplicate data or data which are not present, we take an average and collect these decisions based on these total dataset values. And this is a workflow of the system. As a student signs in, he enters his details and the preferences gathered. And based on the preferences, we choose these algorithms and we generate a model and we give the accuracy based on these results. These results given more accurate standards of choosing best colleges based on the options that a student has been or have been chosen. As you can see, this is a correlation matrix. So as you can see, each scores represent each values, which normalizes and gives an equation that is corresponding near to the serial number. So as you can see, when the numbers are more near to the serial number, or we call it as a strain algorithm tangent point, we have more accurate results, and which also gives that the student has more probability of getting that degree from that particular college. So as we can compare the two regression models, two algorithm models, we can see different number of plotting based on the data sets that has been given, and each data sets gives different values. So based on the training of these data sets, we accumulated these reasonings, and we plotted in the graph, and we got these two graphs. As you can see from these two graphs, random forest generates a more accuracy compared to the linear regression, since it has multiple branches. For random forest, since we choose different types of data sets, and also we include different decision trees. As decision trees are more, it gives better accurate results. So when we go for large data sets, or when we need an algorithm which produces more or accurate values, we can opt in for random forest. So the results, comparing both these results, we choose the key performance indicators. And we also evaluated the errors that arises from these algorithms, such as root mean square error, and mean absolute error. And we solved all these errors to provide accurate results. And comparing both linear regression and random forest, we got 89% accuracy through random forest, which is higher compared to the rest. And the conclusion is this helps students to predict the chances of getting the preferred degree in the desired colleges, and can also help them to improve by working hard on a specific, if their accuracy or if the percentage is low. And also it increases the chances of updating the courses and the trending courses in respective institutions based on the global market and the technological development as to student chooses more regarding these degrees. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. I request Balaganesha to share your views on this presentation.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. It's really to the it's this kind of topic, this kind of title. It's really helpful to get that proper kind of admissions and other things. Get that proper analysis. The data set which they used, I recommend to make it more number of increase the number of the data sets and make it that probability sampling and non-probability sampling, and choose that thing in the right way to move to the next level. So I'm fully satisfied with that paper. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Participants, if you have any queries, you can post it in the chat. I request the next participant to be ready with your presentation. This is Jyoti Lakshmi, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, Balaganesh, sir.
Good morning, ma'am.
Yes,
Shall I
ma'am.
start with my presentation?
Yeah, please start.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes, ma'am. Jyoti Lakshmi, ma'am, are you there?
Hello. Hope the presentation is seen. Hello, ma'am.
No, ma'am. Yet to share.
No.
Please share it again, ma'am. Jyoti Lakshmi, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. I'm trying. Just a second, ma'am.
Yes, please.
Ma'am, can it be seen now?
Yes, ma'am.
Actually, there is a problem with my presentation, so I'm sharing it as images. Will that be okay, ma'am?
Can you able to zoom it, ma'am, little bit?
Is it visible, ma'am? Now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Good morning. Myself, Jyoti Lakshmi. I'm a research scholar in the Department of Computer Science, Wells University, Pallavaram, Chennai. And I would like to discuss on the topic, that is the big data analysis to control the risk in patients with pulmonary diseases. So as my introduction, I introduce big data. Big data in healthcare refers to the abundant health data amassed from numerous sources. And big data analytics techniques can be applied in healthcare decision-making and adopting precautionary measures. And big data is a word that refers to data that has a high velocity, variety, and volume. We all know that. So controlling the risk of pulmonary diseases requires understanding its characteristics and behavior, which can be identified by collecting and analyzing the related big data. Why I selected the topic pulmonary diseases is because pulmonary diseases is a type of disease that affects the lungs and other parts of the respiratory system, which is now the 4th leading cause of death globally. So big data tools and algorithms to analyze clinical data of patients affected by pulmonary diseases to predict further risk and provide better treatment. So predictive analysis techniques are used in previous data to make predictions about future events and for producing accurate forecasts. So how big data is used in healthcare? Big data has a potential to change the way in which respiratory diseases are dealt with. And the potential benefit of big data in healthcare includes the ability to diagnose diseases at an earlier stage, allowing for more efficient and successful treatment. And it also controls individual and population health more effectively and detects healthcare fraud more promptly and efficiently, which provides a continuous learning infrastructure with real-time knowledge production, which will be useful for the patients. So this is a diagram representing the patient-centric healthcare ecosystem from the perspective of big data. Hope this can be seen, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so all the same big data, the same details of the patient-centric healthcare ecosystem is being taken by pharmaceuticals, insurers, service provider, patient, and even the doctors. And so the big data can cause a huge change in the further treatment and reducing the risk of patients with respiratory diseases. Big data processing in healthcare involves the extract, transform, and load methodology, which is termed as data ETL. Big data processing healthcare is in data ETL. And real-time data provides a precise understanding of the interaction between a patient's symptoms and illness scores, which can be utilized to help create and implement management plans. So in healthcare, evidence-based medicine is aided by big data analytics, which is used to combine and analyze a variety of data such as EMRs, electronic medical records, clinical data, and genetical data in order to forecast disease risks in patients. So evidence-based medicine is can be aided by the big data analytics, which can be used to forecast disease risk in patients. So to extract values from big data, there are 7 main procedures. One is clean and process the data. We know that the data is a huge size. It may be structured, semi-structured, or unstructured data. So you need to first clean and process the data, then analyze and visualize the data, store the data, create a model that can be used in the patient's system, generate and optimize the results, double check the results, and choose the best tools. So scalability, dependability, performance, data source comfortability, and distribution comfort are all crucial factors to consider when choosing a data analysis tool. So the following factors can be considered when selecting tools. There can be unexpected user data inputs as well as data failures that may arise as a result. Since it is a healthcare sector, we'll have to deal with the unexpected user data inputs. The scope of the issue and the data types, how the data is actually, in which format it is in the structured form, image form, or semi-structured form, or unstructured form. The environments, technologically, the deployment environment, the nature of the intended solution, and all these things will, these are the factors to be considered when selecting tools for healthcare. So these are the comparison of different big data tools and algorithms. The tools that can be used for same objective can be classified according to how they are utilized and implemented in certain sectors. So the main categories of big data analytics tools are shown in the table. Data storage tools and frameworks, data filtering and extraction tools, data cleaning and validation tools. There are examples of big data analytics tools here, like MongoDB, Apache Spark, then Hadoop, MapReduce, and all. These are different big data analytics tools used in different, they are having the same objective but classified according to how they are utilized. Hadoop is the best option for batch workloads because it is less expensive to implement than other solutions. It provides a well-tested instruction execution mechanism that is best suited for processing large data sets when speed is not an issue. If the results are not yet to be really quick and we have to process a large amount of data set, Hadoop is the best option. And when considering various processes, Spark should be a variable option because Spark gives more emphasis on speed benefits. So if the diagnosis or the optimization of results are to be done in a more speedy manner, we can use the Spark. Then MongoDB does an excellent job at the data consistency and partition. So each big data tool has its own advantage. So it can be used and implemented as the case may be. The selection of the tools can be done as the case, how it is utilized and implemented. And further, in the conclusion, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD, one of the most major pulmonary diseases, is rapidly becoming a major cause of mortality around the world, resulting in a growing economic and social burden. So having clinical data on how the patient's ailment progressed would aid doctors in predicting the best treatment for people with similar illnesses. So being able to forecast how lung diseases would progress in a specific patient would allow clinicians to begin proper treatment as soon as possible, slowing disease progressions. I have the references are being quoted in the slide, and that's all about my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I request Dr. Balaganesha to share the views.
Yeah, it's quite interesting one. That's looking good. That the data set which you taken, it's really nice one, and the presented well. Thank you. My side, it's okay for that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Participants, if you have any queries, you can post it in the chat box. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Jyoti Lakshmi, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry for that. Sorry for the interrupting. Thank you for that to organizing that wonderful things. Sorry, I cannot continue that further presentation. Thank you all. Thank you for that. Hopefully, it will go to the right pathway to reach that many the research area. Thank you all. I just leave this things. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much.
We'll continue with the next presentation. Ms. Kanimori, ma'am, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Please share your presentation and you can start.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. I'm Kanimori from STND Vaishnav College for Women. My paper is about a study on.
Excuse me, ma'am. Ma'am, we are having some background disturbance in your audio. Please check.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. I'll check, ma'am. Now it's clear, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You can.
My paper topic is about a study on image caption generator using a machine learning. Under the guidance of Dr. C. Victoria Priscilla, Associate Professor and Head of PG Department of STNB Vaishnav College for Women. And we'll move to abstract. This study reveals artificial intelligence for image captioning. Nowadays, young people have grown up in a world dominated by new technologies where they are largely involved in pictures. It is an approach to identify deaf peoples and visually impaired people who need to know the image through an audio feed. The purpose of this work is to examine the research on machine learning techniques of image captioning. It also provides a detailed analysis of each algorithm depends on its performance. In this study, many researchers have started working with these images to descriptions. Nowadays, images are frequently used in everybody's lives. It is the most common thing in the human era. The image captioning is a task that is difficult in computer vision and the natural language process. In the review of image captioning methods used in the various fields like child education, visually disabled people to understand through an audio feed what is going on in their image, many researchers have previously been conducted to gain more precise descriptions and make machines think like humans. This paper is a semantic literature review of newest articles about captioning to provide a summarized understanding of what has been achieved in the field so far and which technique has performed well. This is a literature survey I have taken up. The first, the title has image caption generator. Parth Kotak and Prem Kotak was an author, and the methodology they are used is LSTM and RNN. The description of an article is the project aim is to represent an image caption generator to respond the caption for a given images. The dataset were used as Flickr 8K dataset. The main advantages of the article is to know the visually impaired people by an what is going on in the image by an audio stream. The next article I have taken is image caption generator. Author is Meha J et al. The methodologies they are used in CNN and LSTM is a type of RNN networks. The paper aim is to analyze different objects in an image, recognize the relationship between the objects and generate appropriate captions. Here also the same dataset were used, Flickr 8K dataset, and the advantage is, the main advantage of a model is naming the objects in an image. And it also has a disadvantage. This article doesn't explain the relationship between the images and the objects. The third article, the neural image caption generator, author Vinyals et al. And here also the same methodology were used, CNN and LSTM. CNN is a convolutional neural network. The description of an article is automatically viewing an image and generate a responsible description in English. They were used 4 data sets. They are Flickr 8K, Flickr 30K, MS COCO, and SUB. The main advantage is the method used to most engineered approaches to increase training sizes. And the next is image captioning in Hindi language by author Ankit Rathi. He's converted the Flickr 8K dataset by Google Translator to Flickr Hindi 8K dataset. Most of the papers were generated captions in Hindi English language, but this article generated Hindi language captioning. Here, Flickr 8K Hindi dataset was used. The advantage is extracting the image features from VGG16. The next article is image caption generator using a CNN and LSTM. Author Swarnim Tripti, Ravi Sharma. It is a CNN and LSTM methodology were used to generate the captions. The Flickr 8K dataset were used. This also contains a relevant descriptions also. This dataset. This advantages is helping the visionless person to understand the caption through one audio feed. The next is deep learning methods by P. Aishwarya et al. And CNN and LSTM were used. It has the ability to analyze 2D image and extract features from them and describe the images. The benchmark dataset were used in this article. Advantage, it explains the benchmark dataset and explains the evaluation of natures of machine learning, generating the image descriptions. And different types of methods I have taken. CNN and LSTM model. First of all, we gone through CNN. CNN is used for working with pictures. It examines pictures from the left corner to the right corner and to extricate significant highlights from the pictures and recognize them from each other. In CNN, there has 3 main layers: pooling, convolutional, and fully connected. These layers can help CNN clearly find features from the picture. Extraction of vital features present in the pictures of fixed length input is transformed into fixed size output. It is mainly helpful in medical field. CNN are used to examine the inner body structures of images, and it also used for our daily purpose, mobile phones. For example, it has determined a person's age, or to unlock the mobile just by looking the phone camera. The LSTM is a type of recurrent neural network. It holds a crucial place in it. In image captioning, it is also responsible for accurate caption generation also. The advantages of a LSTM are text prediction. The long short-term memory is capable enough to predict the next word in the sentence to generate a caption for image. This CNN and LSTM model performs a process using different datasets with accuracies. Flickr 8K dataset, the average score was 2.3%, 23.7%. The Pascal dataset average score is 2.45, and Cocoa dataset average score was 2.72. And next, CNN and RNN based frameworks are also used to get the caption for a given image. CNN is act as an encoder and RNN is a decoder for this framework. In this architecture, CNN and RNN is served as an encoder and decoder respectively. But this study has two drawbacks: metrics while using testing and training, the loss of training. In the image, the input image to the CNN. CNN extract the features from the image, and it moves to the LSTM, and it will recognize the human attribute and object attribute and verbs. So all combined with to create a caption, accurate caption. CNN based framework also used. It is similar to above RNN approach. The framework has three key components. They are word embedding in the center, and GRU, gated recurrent unit, and a CNN approach. Although the CNN architecture has a quicker training time per number of parameters, the loss of compared CNN is larger than RNN. And reinforcement based framework. The reinforcement learning model drives visual semantic embedding, which performs well across several evaluation metrics without needing the retraining. Visual semantic embedding determines the measures of correlation between images and a sentence, as well as achieves the accuracy for captions. These three frameworks were measured using the 5 measuring indicators: DLEU, METEOR, ROUGE, and CIER, and SPICE. This gives an accuracy of these three CNN and RNN, CNN, and reinforcement framework. This is a dependency relationship patterns. Dependency relationship pattern gives a new method for automatic captioning of geotagged photograph that involves summarizing various online documents containing information about the image locations. That is the object with persistent geo-coordinates such as buildings and not to images of moving objects in such landscapes such as people's, cars, or clouds. However, our technique is applicable to image captioning and to applications that requires summary description. This study, the author describes the accuracy of the method used in the article is 91%. Visual dependency representation. The caption finds the relationship between the objects in the image by visual dependency representation method. This method generates the caption by 4 different strategies. First one is proximity. Proximity is based on the idea that the people use the term to define a relationship between the places that are close to each other. The images are used. The images is a common example for all the 4 methods. The example of the captions that are the caption that are produced by the given images is: the man is beside a bike. There is also a road, a car, and a tree in the image. Next method is corpus. Corpus is to determine which pairs of regions are likely to be in describable relationship. Furthermore, corpus can generate verbs instead of spatial relationship between regions, leading to more human-like descriptions. This figure is to get the caption is the man is riding a bike. There's also a car, a road, and a tree in the image. The third method is structure. This is a model takes an advantage of image visual dependency representation to create a language for just the relationship that exists between pairs of pixels. It acts as to an image and image regions labeled area and visual dependency relationship. The caption for the given image is the man is above the bike, above the road. There's also a car and tree in the image. The fourth method is parallel. Excuse me. Parallel is an extensive of structure that employs picture description to predict verbs that link regions and family relationship in VDR. The caption for the given image is the man is riding the bike on the road. There is also a car and a tree and in the image. Results in discussions. Nowadays, there is a range of image captioning systems to choose from the article that have gone through in this review. The result of the experiment demonstrates that this task is still better for development and performance management system. The review of image captioning has used different methods to generate a caption with different accuracies. This accuracy graph helps us to find a useful method for captioning. In this accuracy graph, dependency relationship representation has higher accuracy compared with others. Conclusions and future works. The various methods and approaches utilized for picture caption generators and discussed in the review. This literature review of image captioning employs a variety of algorithms and techniques, and also it evaluates the accuracy of a variety of data sets. Future work will focus on improvement to the image quality and more accuracy in caption, exploring this representation in big data sets and using the outputs of an object detector to obtain fully automated models. The references I have taken. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Kanimozhi ma'am. Now I request Dr. Sri Deepa ma'am, Research Director of our institution, to share your valuable suggestion on this, ma'am.
Kanimozhi ma'am, thank you so much for the excellent presentation. I understand it is you are in the initial state of your research where you have done an exhaustive literature review and you have presented your review paper excellently. A lot more to go, and when you consider the image, try to consider multicolor images and other features of images so that your output the output of the research will be society oriented. Thank you, Kanimozhi madam.
Ma'am, you have a question from other participant. Which type of activation function you have used to improve accuracy? Kanimozhi ma'am, are you able to hear? Kanimozhi ma'am, please unmute and answer for this question.
Ma'am, sorry, ma'am, I didn't.
And there is a question from the participant for you.
Okay,
which type of activation function you have used to improve accuracy? It's a question.
The activation function was a dependency relationship representation has higher accuracy, ma'am.
Thank you.
Most of the existing system has used CNN and SSTM. This will give you a more accuracy than the other methods.
Thank you.
Thank you. No, ma'am, that is not a type of phenomenon. Okay, thank you.
Now I request the next participant, Ms. Nirmala, to be ready with your presentation.
Okay. Morning to everyone. This is Nirmala, research scholar from the Department of Computer Science in the University of Madras. Here my topic is a study on semantic enriched document classification using deep learning technique. Here my topic is automatic document classification regarding the document classification is used to only for saving the information. Only the saving the information, not only for the storing the data and also finding the document whenever we required. The documents have increased in recent technological companies. If we are in our business or organization or going into some technologies, we are using a vast amount of data. For that, the user can read the content of the document, but it is demanding to predicate the discipline of the content and also classify it accordingly. When the document, in these cases, the document can be act as a vector in the features that are taken from the training document, and then it can manipulate all the documents in different categories. Each document classification, when it acting as a vector, it shows as a classified problem information extraction or the retrieval. So the survey includes that the input document classification using a state-of-the-art method, and the resulting vectors in the model of classification seems to be perfect in different categories. Its objective. This is to provide a concise and precise assemblage of the parameter methodologies for text document classification. Here we can use two types of document classification. One is manual classification, another is automatic document classification. In manual document classification, only the user will manually interprets the meaning of the text, and the other element can be identified the relationship between the concept to categorize the document. Whereas when we take for the automatic document classification, we have to apply some techniques in machine learning or deep learning to classify the document automatically. So this process is very faster and also accurate. So the focal point of the study is to automate the document classification using deep learning algorithm is to provide a vivid idea on automatic and identifying the domain of the document and its required discipline. It's data pre-processing. Text cleaning is done in the first step of the pre-processing, and also it's if we have to annotate some data in a few document. Initially, we have to train the document by using different loaders and transformation functions to manipulate the text data. As we have to split the text into a word and the punctuation. The steps can be followed in text can be followed in the form of text cleaning or tokenization, limitating, and stemming. After once the pre-processing the data, it predicates a developed model and then it deploys to share. So the three models can be used for the pre-processing. First is extraction, and second is transformation, third is loading. In extraction, only you can read the content of the data from the multiple sources in parallel. Whereas in the transformation, we can build the capabilities of the data pipelines. Loading, after the pre-processing the data, it feeds them into a deep learning model. These are the given the performance measures in the document classification. These are the realm of the literature. First, the multi-label legal document classification, a deep learning based approach with label attention and domain specific pre-training. This label is defined as it compares a two traditional machine learning language by using a MLP and also a RF. Because by using the data set posted 50K and URL case 57K, they have shown their precision and recall and FL score in the value of 0.762. The second one, the document classification system for Spanish language. It has some tool to dividing. The tool is divided into some software components. It faces some challenges of binding a Spanish language using a public sources such as Google or Wikipedia components, and also they use three components to use in this method. One is crawling process, second is NLP, and third is deployment method. They are using a data set from the language by getting the value of 0.84. There's a semantic enriched deep learning for document classification. It enriches the data and also it allows the model to learn simultaneously from generated semantic vector representation and also the virtual document vector. Next, the document pair-based multi-class document classification for semantic relationship with Wikipedia articles is only it will take the data from the given data source data, and which it will take related to the Wikipedia articles. Whether the data is in the related to related to the source data or the target data. And other the remaining fields are been given with the method data set. In document classification, the document classification is the process of classifying the document into relevant categories or the classes, because it is one type of the branches and all for the text classification. Where the classifier is able to tag a suitable class to the document from the listed to the 3 different classes. This makes the process of organizing and maintaining the document data are easy and also to say efficient. This is a flowchart for the document classification. When the user is giving a input as a PDF document, first we have to pre-process the data. The pre-processing data is nothing but we have to follow the steps for step to step. We have to stop the word summarization and stemming. After that pre-processing, we have to extract the features, and then we have to select a particular feature selection. Then we have to train the data and test the data. Then only we can move for we can go for the evaluation performance. The techniques are used in document classification is the three types of document classification. One is supervised document classification, second one is unsupervised document classification, and third one is semi-supervised document classification. In supervised document classification, it is a complete entire learning process to classify the model by applying a complete braining data set where it contains the document content and categories level at the same time. And also it serves a main role for the student because providing it suggests only, it provides only input, output, and feedback to build the models. Here the methods used are linear regression, support vector machine, and decision tree units, supervised document classification. In unsupervised document classification, the method can be executable without a reasonable document categories, where the unsupervised learning is where the student will do the final exam without a strong answer. It suggests that only we can arise a conclusion and patterns to unlabeled training data set. Here they are using the prior algorithm like K-means clustering. In semi-supervised document classification, it is a combination of supervised and unsupervised document classification, and where the data can be used as a Navy-Bayes method. Navy-Bayes method and the generated addressable networkable. The combination of by using this supervised and unsupervised, the documents can be labeled and also the documents cannot be unlabeled in semi-supervised document classification. The techniques used are Navy-Bayes, logic regression, TF-IDF, LSTM, BERT, and SPM. In Navy-Bayes, it is a highly scalable, and also it classifies the data and applying by Bayes theorem with a strong different assumption within the features. When we are going for the logic regression, it is one type of example of supervised data. It is used to calculate or to predicate the probability of the binary yes or no with the event occurring. When we go for the TF-IDF, it is a frequency of particular term. You are concerned with the relevant to the document, the number of times that word appears in the document, and also adjust the length of the document in the corpus. In LSTM, it is suitable for the classifying the process and also making the prediction of the time series data. In BERT model, by using the BERT model, the data can be encoded from the document, virtual document, then the coding can be represented in the data file. It's a hierarchical attention network. It is a processing method for searching and retrieving and organizing the text document. It is an important task supervised learning to aim to solve. This paper approaches is differently from current document classification method that use the problem as multi-class classification. In hierarchical deep learning text classification, it employs the stacks of deep learning architecture to provide a hierarchical understanding of the document. This, when we are comparing to the document classification, whoever they propose the project's model of the raw document, that document can be converted into, first they will converting the vector representation, and which we can build a classifier to perform a document classification in the way of a word encoder, word attention, sentence encoder, and sentence attention. Here my conclusion is methodology studies and tabulating both semantic which an representation deep classification model to validate accuracy and establish improvements in classification performance, stating that machine learning methods to better performs better in testing fund. The comparative study paper is done on the approaches used, technique used, data source used, and feature construction used, and qualitative evaluation in the respective papers. I have included in this slide number 4, and we have shown also the performance measures in document classification. And I conclude that the machine learning is assigned to as a superior technique in the classified task and the support vector mission and navy bias in the text representation. This is my reference paper I have given to the about my document. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. I request Dr. S.T. Deepa ma'am to share your inputs, ma'am.
Yes. Thank you so much, Nirmala ma'am, for your presentation.
Thank you,
I
ma'am.
have few queries on your algorithm. How
Okay,
do
ma'am.
your algorithm identify the hyphenated words? Because the documents may have the hyphenated words also. So how do your algorithm approach that?
Yeah, I will not using the algorithm. Yeah, I'm not using algorithm, but I am using a TF-IDF when they're giving the document PDF as a PDF input. When they're giving the input as a document, I have to pre-process the data. Then I have to extract the features, and then I have to train it as the data.
Okay. And there is a question posted in the chat box. Do you think deep learning is better than shallow learning? If so, why?
Sorry, ma'am.
Do you think deep learning is better than shallow learning? If so, why?
Because the data will be shown in advanced memory, deep learning. In machine learning, we can see the advanced techniques in deep learning. When they're using for the TF-IDF or the SVM support vector machine, we can get the data set when they're using it. It will be highly scalable. So we are using a deep learning.
There is another question posted in the chat box. What is the purpose of using LSTM? And if you are using it in your implementation, then what role the forget gate will play in your document classification?
If we are using a LSTM, the data will be encoded first. After encoding the data will be first feed forward and the backward one. After the data only, the data can collect. Then we have each and every term we have to represent it as a vector, and then we have to train the data. So we are using as SVM.
Thank you, Nirmala ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Next, I call upon the next participant, Ms. S.P. Agnish Sheila, ma'am. Are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. You can start your presentation.
Good morning to all. I'm Agnes Sheila, Research Scholar of Department of Computer Science, SDNB Vaishnava College for Women. My paper title is Pedestrian Deduction Using Efficient ResNet 50 Architecture. This paper aims to use the ResNet 50 architecture with the leaky ReLU activation function instead of a ReLU activation function. So this effective ResNet 50 architecture used as the backbone of faster RCNN algorithm. Introduction. So pedestrian deduction is significant task in autonomous driving car video surveillance. Traditional approaches in pedestrian deduction is HOG, histogram of Orion gradient, and Weiler-Jones gave good result, but they need some improvement. So deep learning approaches like regional convolution neural network and faster RCNN and UDO improves the accuracy in pedestrian deduction. So this paper contains the faster RCNN and the activation function and ResNet 50 architecture. So we'll see one by one. So first, the faster RCNN is a stage framework. So one is the RPN network, another one is the fast RCNN network. So RPN network is used to generate the candidate region, and fast RCNN network is used to detect the object in the proposed region. So this is the ResNet 50 architecture. So ResNet 50 is the one of the variant of the ResNet model, and this architecture is used in various computer vision tasks, and this model is very popular for overcoming the problem of vanishing gradient problem. And this is the ReLU and leaky ReLU activation function. So in a ReLU activation function, it's having the horizontal line for negative input value. But in the case of leaky ReLU activation function, it getting small slope for a negative value. So that is shown in the graph, and the corresponding equations are given in the slide. So this is the block diagram of pedestrian detection model. Here the images inputted, and the images augmented, and image pre-processing has been done. So the pre-processed image has been given as an input to the ResNet 50 backbone architecture, and it will extract the feature and it will generate the feature map. And this feature map is given as an input to the RPN network, and the RPN network generate the candidate region, and it's going to input into the ROI pooling layer, and the feature map is also given as input to the ROI pooling layer. And from the output of the ROI pooling layer, it is given to the input as a fully collected layer and softmax layer. So from that, two branches has been there. So one is for regression point, and another one was object score. So in this experiment, INRIA data set is used for training and testing the proposed model. So a data set is augmented, flipping augmenters is used, and image has been pre-processed. So pre-processed means the image has been resized according to the ResNet 50 architecture input size, and the ResNet 50 architecture is using the leaky ReLU activation function, and anchor box values has been estimated for INRIA dataset. So that value has been used in this experiment. So this improve the average precision value and reduce the log average miss rate. So this is the result of the proposed model. So normal ResNet 50 architecture give the average precision as 0.62 and log average miss rate is 0.55. And the proposed model that is a leaky ReLU or ResNet 50 architecture give the average precision as 0.68 and the log average miss rate is 0.47. So this is the graph of average precision and the log average miss rate. So the conclusion is this paper proposes an efficient ResNet 50 architecture by using the leaky ReLU activation function. So this architecture is the backbone of the faster RCN algorithm. So this model is trained and tested on INRIA dataset, which give good result compared to the normal ResNet 50 architecture. So this is my reference paper. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Like, I would like to understand what is the purpose of using, there are a lot of data sets available. And
Yes,
is
ma'am.
there any specific reason that you are using INRIA data set?
Yes, ma'am. INRIA is very popular data set for so many research. They are using the INRIA data set, and it's a clear data set, ma'am. There are so many pedestrians are in upright position. So I'm in an initial stage in research, so that I have using the INRIA data set for my research, ma'am.
Thank you so much. And is there any specific sample size you have decided on?
Sample size, ma'am,
Yes.
212, ma'am. The ResNet 50 architecture input size is 224, ma'am. That input size I have chosen for the sample size, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. And there is again a question in the chat box. Did you work on image data or video data?
Still image data only, ma'am, not video data, only still image data, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. I request the next participant, Mr. Sadvik Reddy, to be ready with your presentation.
Hello, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can proceed.
Ma'am, my name is Satvik and I'm from Vellore Institute of Technology and I'm studying BTech Triple third year. And my topic is about optimal path of identification to minimize power loss for distribution in smart grid. So let us go to the content. So as we know, energy plays an important role in our day-to-day lives. So the energy which are getting is from generation end, and there are three stages involved: generation, transmission, and distribution. So my aim is to minimize the losses in the transmission side. So by using some of the algorithm techniques that I have proposed, and I'm using pi model network in the transmission line to compute the losses. So before going to the method proposed, I would like to discuss about the graphs. So graphs are nothing. The graphs are nothing but they are connected through the edges with the vertices as given in the figure. So these edges will having some weights. So their graphs are of two types. They are directed graphs and undirected graphs. So the right side, if you can see, these are the undirected graphs where these edges will having some weights, and there is no direction from source to destination. Let us suppose 0 is the source and 1 is destination. So there is nothing like source to destination some weight, and destination to source some other weight. So which is there in the directed graph, where in the directed graph, the source to destination and destination to source will be having some different weights, and whereas in undirected graph, only the edges are connected to the vertices. This is about the graph theory. So in the graph theory, I'm using Kruskal algorithm. So why I'm using, I will tell now. So Kruskal algorithm is where these weights, whatever the weights are present in the weights are present. So to minimize the distance, like from, so to get an optimum distance or to get the minimum spanning tree. Minimum spanning tree is where like all the vertices are connected to each other with least possible weights. So the sum of the weights should be minimum. That is the minimum spanning tree. So the aim of the Kruskal algorithm is to build a minimum spanning tree such that the number of edges should be the number of vertices minus 1. So to explain it better, you can see this graph. So let us suppose this is a graph. So first, these weights are arranged in an ascending order. So what are that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So ascending order is arranged. Now take the least weight. So 1. This edge is selected. After selecting this edge, and next edge is 2. This 2 is selected. And then after that, again 3 is selected. If we select 4, like after that, if we select 4, there is a cycle form, like 4, 3, 2 will be forming a cycle. So the main aim is to not to form any cycle for the minimum spanning tree. So 4 is not selected, and then 5 is selected. And as you can see at the result side, the number of edges are 4, the number of vertices are 5. So as per the Kruskal criteria, the number of edges are satisfying the number of vertices minus 1. And another algorithm is discrete algorithm. So in this discrete algorithm, let me go to example and then explain. So as you can see, let us suppose this is a graph. So this graph computes where from one edge to all the other edges, what is the minimum possible distance from the selected edge to all the other edges. So let us suppose A is, let us take vertex A, and let us suppose as from distance from A to A is 0, it is assumed to be 0. And all other distances are assumed to be infinite, where 2, 1, 3, 4, whatever the given things are weights for the given graph. So from A to B, what is the minimum distance possible based on the update rule, where if we like the weight of the A, which is 0 plus 2 is added, so that is the 2 is the minimum, so infinity, which is less than 2. So B is updated to 2. Again from A to other vertex D. So see, in the same way, 1 plus 0, 1. So infinity less than 1. So D is updated to 1. Now in place of infinity, we are getting 1 and 2, as you can see. In the same way, then we'll be going to minimum distance vertex. So now in A and B, the minimum distance vertex is D. And from this, the same procedure is followed to update the weights of all other vertices. So in the same way, as I said, like addition of this weight 1 plus 2. Now C weight is 3. So 3 is updated. So in the same way, all the weights are updated. All the vertices are updated with weights. So from 0 to from A to B, the distance is 2, as you can see. From A to D, it is 1. From A to E, it is 3, as 1 plus 2. So in the same way, update rule is followed. So how these algorithms are used in the path optimization. So as we know, so this is a transmission line. So I am taking a pi model assume. I am assuming a pi model. So let me show some what, yeah. In this graph, as you can see, the same, it is also looking as a graph where this is vertex 0, like this is one station. Let us assume that some station is there. From 0 is a station, 1 is a station, 2 is a station, 3 is a station. From 0 to 1, there is a transmission line where the pi model is present. So these lines represent the pi modeling. Like this is the how the pi model looks like. So as that I've seen in the graph 0, 1, 2, 3, the same transmission line we can see over here. So the same rule where let us suppose as these vertices are given with some voltages. So V1, V2, V3, V4. So the line is updated in such a way that the loss is computed by as in the power when we calculate the loss of the given line loss of the line is given by this formula where Vs is the source voltage and Vd is the destination voltage and R, L, C are the passive elements like resistor, capacitor and inductance. So based on this loss, this line is provided with some loss L1, L2, L3. So it is looking like these are the vertices and this middle one is like this is an edge and with some weight. So same procedure, whatever we followed in Kruskal and Dijkstra algorithm, where we have taken the edges and we are put at the weights. So we will be able to predict the minimum spanning tree and also like what is the minimum possible distance to be taken, like from 0 to 2, what is the minimum possible distance? Either we can travel directly from 0 to 1, or we can traverse from 0 to 3 and 3 to 1. So based on this update rule, whatever the Dijkstra and Kruskal algorithm is followed, same theory is followed over here. And by this, whatever the minimum distance is computed from one vertex to all the other vertices. Even not only we can select 0, even we can select 1. From 1, we can take the starting vertex as 1, and we can traverse to all the other vertices as that the minimum distance. We will be computing the minimum losses. So based on that minimum losses, we'll be understanding that what are the feeders or feeders to be turned on. So that transmission line will take care of traversing the power from one point to other point. So whatever I have in the compiler, I have formulated, I have taken the edges and the number of vertices for Kruskal output. Like I have taken whatever from vertices 0 and 1 are the vertices, and voltage at 0, 220, voltage at 1, 230, and these 3, 4.6 and 5.8 are randomly assumed RLC parameters. So based on that, for each line, I have taken RLC parameters and their respective voltages, and I have got the what is the distance from, what is the loss from 2 to 3, which is 81.406, and 0 to 2 and 0 to 1. So coming to Dijkstra, same thing I have taken. So here, whatever I have computed is like from 0 to 1, like from 0 to 0, there is no path. From 0 to 1, this is the only traversal. Like here from 0 to 2 to 3, even it is from 3 to 1. So, but I am getting the output as 0 to 1 is the minimum loss. And for 2 also 0 to 2 is the minimum traversing path. So that is the traversing path. From 0 to 3, it is the minimum traversing path. Even we can get 0 to 1, then 1 to 3 also. Here we can get an indication as per the code which I have run. So like coming to the future, as this algorithm is very efficient for in the smart grid side, where we will be knowing what are the feeders to be turned on based on the computation, and what is the minimum loss, and what is the distance to be traversed, and these are the main factors in the future. And I'm using the medium here. I'm using medium transmission line, and even we can use short transmission line, but it doesn't work for long transmission lines. where the long transmission line will have some other parameters like alpha and beta parameters. So I am concerned only to the medium transmission. And thank you, sir. And these are the references collected.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Satvik, for an excellent presentation. I have a clarification on the weights used in Dikshitra algorithm. See, we used to calculate the routing in Dikshitra algorithm using the weight of the edges. When it comes to your transmission mode of energy,
yes, sir.
What is considered as a weight?
Losses, sir.
And what are the features that will affect the loss?
Sir, as I was in the transmission line, like I have taken a pi model. Let me show. Yes, sir. This the line which is represented line 1, it is a pi modeling network. So this pi modeling network, like based on that, actually the loss is how it is computed is like, as we know, this is taken as Z. So loss in this.
See, what I am asking is, Satvik, I am asking what are the features that contribute to the loss?
Sir,
what leads to the loss?
Sir, okay, sir, like impedance, which is resistor loss, and inductive loss and capacitor losses. These features will be leading to loss, sir, when the power is transmitted from one station to another station.
Okay, thank you.
Based on the pi model, I have computed, I have formulated a formula, and based on that, I have computed the loss, and based on that loss, I have taken the minimum possible distance from one vertex to other vertex.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Is there any other questions, sir?
Not from my side.
Yes.
Participants, if you have any questions, you can post it in the chat box. I request the next participant, Ms. Shweta, to be ready with your presentation. No more questions. Thank you, Satvik.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for the opportunity that I got.
Thank you. Yes, Shweta, you can start your presentation.
Happy day, everyone. So my research paper topic is Human Activity Recognition System using machine learning and deep learning models. I have done this research paper under the guidance of Dr. A. Muthu Lakshmi, Assistant Professor, Postgraduate Department of Information Technology from MOP Vaishnav College for Women. Myself, Shweta S., Student, Postgraduate Department of Information Technology from MOP Vaishnav College for Women. So here it was the human activity recognition. It is a broad field of study. It deals with identifying the specific movement of actions of a person based on sensor data. So nowadays, smartwatches are everyone are using smartwatches. So it keeps tracks of the physical activities like walking and exercise, yoga, etc. So it is a time series sensor data to infer actions, which has got a lot of attention in recent years. So they gather the details with help of the smart data, with the help of the IoT sensors such as accelerometer, gyroscope, and other sensor of a smartphone. So here in this paper, accelerometer data has been used to distinguish different type of user movement, which can be categorized into 6 categories. That is walking, sleeping, walking upstairs and walking downstairs and laying down. So in this paper, we have used machine learning algorithm as well as deep learning algorithm. So let's see, like this paper is about the comparison between the machine learning and deep learning, which performs better with respect to this data. So here is a review of literature. So I have referred the 7 papers. So the first 2 papers tells about the activity recognition of the people through sense and like inertial sensor or the other methods. And the third paper describes about the use of the multiple accelerometer and gyroscope with different body position with respect to the motion people motion activities. If they are walking, it will track according to that motion position or location. And the fifth paper talks about there have been approaches for the sensor and how the sensor gathers data. And the sixth paper I have referred describes about importance of the data processing and the algorithms, machine learning algorithms and deep learning algorithms. And the last paper describes about how to deal with the signal or data that came from the sensor. And here is data collection and exploratory data analysis. So the data was gathered from 30 subjects who completed various tasks while wearing a smartwatch on the wrist. So the data was collected using the smartwatch sensor, accelerometer and gyroscope. And they used other methods such as video or capturing images of the data to categorize the task. And here is the first exploratory data analysis is pie chart. This pie chart represents the various human activities that is performed by the people: laying, standing, sitting, walking upstairs and walking downstairs. And the second, this bar chart represents the mode of data collection. As I said earlier, the data is collected through the accelerometer and gyroscope, and other thing is the video and images. And third, this bar graph represents the total count of each human activity. So standing activity gives a count 1374, and the sitting activity gives a count 1286, and the laying activity count gives 1407, and the walking activity count is 1226, and the walking downstairs count is 986, and walking upstairs count is 1073. And this chart, this graph represents the static activities and dynamic activities. Static activities are stated: sitting, standing, and lying down, and the dynamic activities is walking upstairs and walking downstairs. Here comes the machine learning models. I have used 4 machine learning models: logistic regression, linear select vector mission, and decision tree algorithm, and random forest. So with respect to the logistic regression, it is a most widely used algorithm in machine learning. So it is a technique of predicting it is a technique of predicting the yes or no, 0 1. It will predict either true or false value and give the exact values like 0 and 1. And with respect to linear SVM, it support vector missions are a set of supervised learning methods for classification and regression. They detect they take data points from the data, and they divide into the category and they give the result. And with respect to decision tree algorithm, the internal node of the decision tree represent different attributes, and the branches between the nodes that represent various values and attributes. And furthermore, the terminal nodes represent the dependent variable value determined by the values. And the fourth one is random forest. It is a collection of decision tree, and based on classification and regression, they gives the output. And random forest have smaller number of trees when compared to decision tree. And here is the accuracy, model accuracy score for the 4 machine learning models. The logistic regression models give accuracy 96.1%, and linear SVM model give accuracy as 96.37%, and decision tree model gives 87.14%, and random forest model gives 93.08 accuracy percentage. And next is the deep learning. I have used the deep learning models. So here for recommendation like human activity recognition system, we are using deep neural network. Deep neural network is an artificial neural network with multiple hidden layers between the input and output layers. So the artificial neural network have numerous hidden layers between the input and output layers, and they can represent the complex relationship in the data. So the neural network basic goal is to take the collection of input and conduct increasingly sophisticated computations on them, and then output result to solve real world issues like categorization. And deep neural network performs well and provides more accuracy compared to other machine learning models. So by applying the deep neural network model, it gives accuracy as 99% for this data. And here is a confusion matrix. These confusion matrix represent the true prediction values of physical activities mentioned above. So here the walking activity has got 537 out of 3000 data set. 537 people do walking activity, and out of 3000 data, and 410 people do walking upstairs, and 513 people do walking downstairs, and 475 people do sitting activity, and 373 people do standing activity, and 435 people do laying activity, and so on. So next deep learning model which I have used is simple sequential motion detector. So a deep learning framework is based on a sequence to sequence model for recognizing the complicated activities of daily living. So it represents the activity state representation. So hence it deals with the activity state. We are using simple sequential motion detector model. So the main goal of the simple sequential motion detector is to track of the human activities based on the sensor data, and which helps to give the daily activity which is good for the human to carry out. So by applying this simple sequential motion detector algorithm, it gives accuracy as 98%, and it predicts how many people walks in the first 1000 rows. So so it gives us count here, the 179. So it tells it shows how many people have walked, like 179 people have walked in the first 1000 rows. So here's the conclusion. So using the built-in accelerometer, the system collected time series signals using the 31 features in both the time and frequency domains. And by applying the following 4 machine learning algorithm: logistic regression, linear support vector machine, and decision tree and random forest. The support vector machine has performed best with respect to the accuracy. So it gives 96.3%. And by applying the deep neural network model, it gives an accuracy of 99% for using deep neural network. And by using the simple sequential motion detector, it gives accuracy as 98%. So by if we compare with machine learning, a deep learning algorithm, the deep learning algorithm works well with this data, and it has given the better accuracy rate also. And hence the deep learning models are the optimal choice to work with this data and for future predictions. So these are the papers I have referred for this research paper. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Deepa, ma'am, for your suggestions and input.
Actually, it was an excellent presentation, and it's a need of the hour. Thank you so much for presenting on how to recognize the human activity using machine learning and deep learning. Thank you so much. If there is any queries from the participants, you can post it in the chat box.
Participants, if you have any query, you can post it in the chat box. No more queries, ma'am. Thank you, Sweta, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
One suggestion, Sweta ma'am. One suggestion is you can you have considered 6 states. Maybe you can consider another state of exercising, because I understand if in a dynamic state you have considered walking, climbing up and down. There are other ways where no kind of aerobic or where you cannot fix it into walking up or down. You can consider that state also if possible.
Sure, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
I request Ms. Sandhya Sharma, ma'am, to start with your presentation. And we are not able to hear you, Sandhya ma'am. Please check your audio.
Am I now audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Thank you. Warm good one and all present over here. I'm really honored to present an article here in this conference. Myself, Sandhya Sharma, from a research scholar from Nehru College of Management Studies, accompanied by my co-author, Dr. Hemraj Lamkuche from Symbiosis University of Applied Sciences. Let me share my screen. I begin my topic. Our topic is a lightweight block cipher for smart healthcare constraint devices. Now, before we move to this topic, let me begin my session by throwing a light on the latest news that was posted in June 8th, 2022 by NetSec. It says like this: medical data of 2 million individuals were stolen in Shields Healthcare Group cyber attack. So we are all concerned about our privacy and security, our passwords, the social media passwords or our social media accounts. We have never thought about our medical data that is being shared through network. Is it safe? If it is shared, does anything happen if the medical data that is being shared by us is can create any problems? So our paper wants to throw light on the security that has to be posed on the data that is being shared through the network, that especially medical data. Now, we all are aware of IoT in healthcare. IoT has got a wide range in healthcare. IoT devices are power-constrained devices. They transmit the data to the devices. They consume more energy. They are mainly dealt with sensors. One of the most attractive application of IoT is medical and healthcare. The participant before me have also talked about IoT devices or sensor devices calculating the walking, the laying down, or the measures like that. So the core part of IoT constitutes of sensors and various diagnostics and imaging devices. Now, IoT-based healthcare devices needs to face a problem in security. Security is most important in IoT devices. Now, why there is a need for preserving the security in IoT devices? What happens? What happens even if your data, medical data, is being hacked or it has been changed? There are many problems. There can be many problems. Now, let me move on to my next slide, which states the problem, that is, preserve the privacy and the security of data generated by sensor devices in the healthcare. In healthcare, to secure, that is, conventional cryptographic methods cannot be used here because sensor devices are those which consume energy. You cannot pose or you cannot give conventional cryptographic algorithms here because it consumes more power. So our objective is to reduce the cost and give security. To secure such system, lightweight cryptographic scheme-based symmetric crypto system is required. Now, the personal information is captured in IoT devices is transmitted to the networks, and when uploading to the data, instead of putting, that is, when the data is uploaded into the device, into the network, there the security factor is important. So the main objective here is, that is, to give system performance, best system performance, best resource management, and overall the cost, the performance, and the security has to be maintained. And for this, while uploading the data, the this is just an objective. While uploading the data to the cloud, instead of putting the entire data into the cloud, AWS services can be used, which provides an infrastructure platform that is highly reliable and scalable, and is also possible for IoT devices. And we have AWS Lambda services, which provides resources, or which provides services without servers. So a change is an event in the Lambda function. So when a patient's medical data is changed, or when a patient's medical data is critical, this service can be used to give notification to the health services or to the patient using Amazon Simple Notification Service, or SMS. Now, this is the usual IoT-based healthcare design system. It can be viewed as a 3-layer design system. The application layer, which will link the items of the IoT network, and it is at the top layer. And then in the second layer, you have the data analysis, where the data is analyzed and the healthcare takes the data. And in the third layer, the network layer is the one where the data is transmitted from the sensors to the network or to the healthcare. And the last layer is in the architecture is the physical layer, or the perception layer. Here the objective is to gather the signals from the body or from the patient, and then send it to the network layer and give it to the cloud. Now, what are the security considerations in smart healthcare system? Now, IoT faces a lot of hurdles. There can be changes in the data that is being transmitted. Unauthorized devices can gain your data. Now, if your bank account details, or if your private account details are being changed, or something happens, it's only a matter of money or this. But when your healthcare details are being tampered, or healthcare information is being changed, the consultancy will totally change. The healthcare professionals will communicate in a different way. This can also cause the person's life. So it is as important as other data that the healthcare data has to be secured, which because a false health diagnosis can be reduced by securing your data. So this figure in the right side shows the usual way, that is from the healthcare system. It is given to the cloud, and through the cloud, the data is sent to the personal healthcare system. Sensors transmit the data. When the data is moved through the network, the data can be tampered. Now we have designed an algorithm SSH, where the same thing is enhanced, or a lightweight cipher is being given to the as a security to the data that is being moved from the physical layer to the application layer. Now, SSH is an improved lightweight security, encrypts and decrypts the data collected while offering better flexibility for key size and operational speed. The method safeguards data on communication networks and can be built into every sensor node used in healthcare system. Now, the suggested method is depicted in the given figure. We have used here an improved lightweight security. And the problem was to identify the gap that is preserving the security and the privacy of the data generated from the sensor devices and which is transmitted to the remote system. So for the cloud system, it is important. We felt that it is important to use feasible structure, not substitution or permutation structure to be used while giving the structure. Inside the feasible structure, we have used optimized mathematical operations, including S boxes. And the objective was to implement an algorithm that is capable or reliable for sensor devices than in any other devices. And we have also tested and validated the security of our approach through different cryptanalytic phases. And to optimize the entire process, we have used parallel processes. It was important for us to choose a solution wisely. So the probable solution was encryption mechanism, which is only a available method for securing the security and the privacy. And symmetric method was considered more better, which is important trade-off related to cost, performance, and security. And with reference to our objective, we have also proposed a mechanism by which we are using lightweight encryption crypto system that practically consumes less power area, cost, and which can be implemented on sensor devices. And this was the resultant analysis. It was done in Python 3. The implementation was done in Python 3. It was tested in AWS solutions, and hardening index is a special metric that shows how well the security vulnerabilities in the system can be kept minimum. And it was calculated using an information security software called Linus. And we have also used homomorphic encryption method crypto system, where the data can be added or can be operations can be performed on encrypted data, and the failures homomorphic crypto system was used along with our SSH to give more security to the data that is being transferred. We have also compared the performance of various algorithms using two parameters. The two parameters that we considered were computational overhead parameter and performance parameter. The computational parameter minimized on the complexity, focused on the minimizing of the complexity and the time complexity and the space complexity in the software, while the performance parameter helped us to obtain low latency and high throughputs. And this were the result. This was the comparison chart that is shown on the left-hand side in the encryption and the decryption part. The implementation part and the screenshots of the implementation part is shown here. In conclusion, the proposed SSH algorithm, it solves or balances the trades-off related to cost, performance, and security. It can be applied to any sensor devices as the cost is less. And SSH lightweight encryption crypto system practically consumes less power and area and cost. And the proposed approach is capable of resisting, as I told, all the cryptanalyst attacks. And the system can be further improved by adding more through artificial intelligence and blockchain. These are the references that I had used. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. It was an excellent presentation. And as you said, the medical data are vital data to be preserved. And you have started doing it. I understand that you have done a prototype of your model.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there any query from the participants?
Ma'am, let me add what we have did actually. So this is the algorithm which actually focus on the parameter which is set by NIST in the recent report related to lightweight block cipher. So what NIST suggests that means we should have an algorithm which can consume less cost and less hardware implementation and provide ample amount of security. So there are some standard algorithm which we have compared. So standard algorithm comes in terms of AES, then height, reason, rectangle, and ANU. These are the algorithm which we have compared, and these are standards algorithm only. So as per our implementation, we found that our algorithm perform better in terms of generating high throughputs and providing the performance which consume less time complexity with approximately 57% less time complexity compared to AES algorithm. This is what we have did.
Okay, sir.
So thank you. If no questions were there.
Yes, no
Thank you.
questions. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I request the next participant, Ms. Akshaya, to be ready with your presentation. Request Sandhya ma'am to stop sharing your screen. Stop your screen, ma'am. Thank you. Akshaya ma'am, you can start your presentation.
Akshay ma'am, we couldn't hear you.
Akshay ma'am.
Yeah, now I can.
Check your audio, ma'am. Akshay ma'am, please check your audio. Akshay ma'am, are you there? Akshay ma'am, you're not able to hear you, ma'am. No, ma'am. Please check your audio. You're not able to receive your audio. Still, we are not able to hear you, ma'am. Akshay ma'am. Please check your audio device. No, ma'am. You're not audible. Akshay ma'am, are you there? Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Good morning, ma'am. This is Akshay. I'm coming. Ma'am, am I audible? This is Akshay, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You can proceed.
Good morning to one and all present here. I'm Akshay from SDNB Vaishnava College for Women, and I'm presenting a paper, Blockchain Technology in Various Domains, a Systematic Review. And this is my presentation agenda. First, we will talk about abstract and introductions of this paper, and we will talk about what is blockchain and different types of consensus algorithm, blockchain in different applications, and the survey literature. And we will discuss the current and future trends of blockchain, and finally the conclusion. Moving to abstract, as everyone know, most of the existing applications are centralized that duplicate server and database suffer from a single point of failure, leads to corruptions or misuse by a single method. So nowadays, blockchain is an emerging technology which is decentralized and distributed, used to store and exchange on information without the need of any third-party organization. The study develops blockchain along with its real-time application. In this literature survey, we have collected information from different sources, which allows us to provide a detailed representative view of blockchain and its impact. This review gives a clear view of blockchain technology along with its types, architecture, consensus methods, and research. This literature survey focuses on using blockchain technology in exercises to secure data security and make transaction more visible and straightforward. So a data breach occurs when data is stolen or removed from the system without the knowledge or consent of the system owners. So to tackle these security holes, smart technology known as blockchain will be used in an application for secure data transfer. So what actually the blockchain is, it is a digital database that is shared among components in a computer network, and it works as a repository storing data in electronic format. So in 2008, author Satoshi proposed a paper titled Blockchain, which is a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. The main aim to develop this is to solve the double spending problem. And in 2013, Ethereum came to the world as a decentralized platform for smart contract execution. And definitions of blockchain is a constantly growing set of chronologies, registers, blocks that are linked through cryptography. Every first block in a blockchain is referred to as Genesis block, and it has both body and header. In the header, the previous hash, timestamp, Merkle tree, bits and bytes values are there. And the block body is made up of transactions, and the authentications of transaction is validated using digital signature based on an asymptotic algorithm. So the types and components of blockchain, there are 4 types: private, public, hybrid, and consortium. Public blockchain is also known as permissionless. In this type, blockchain network is one where anyone can participate without restriction. And in private blockchain, it is also known as a permission. In this, only users who are granted permissions can access specific set of data. And in consortium, it combines both private and public capabilities. In this work, the consensus process is controlled by pre-selected set of nodes. And the last one is hybrid. In this, there are 2 types of users in this blockchain: one who has controls over the blockchain, and the others who just peers the blockchain. And this is the this picture depicts blockchain components. What actually the node is, it is a computer or user in the blockchain network, and transaction is records or information, and the chain is a set of blocks in specified order, and the miners who are the nodes that verifies blocks add them to the blockchain. And the consensus is a set of tools are designed for implementing blockchain operations. And the next concept is digital signature. What it is it is the mathematical application of an asymmetric cryptographic technique to digitalize certificate to ensure its use is authenticity and integrity. It is used in 2 phases. First one, signing phase and the verification phase. The phase sender encrypts the data with a private key and delivers the cipher result as well as the original data to the receiver during the signature process. The expression recipient validates the value of the sender's public key during verification, ensuring that the data cannot be tampered with and that the data transit is checked. And there are 4 consensus algorithms in blockchain. The first one, proof of work. This algorithm is used to choose a miner for the next block generation. And this algorithm was first employed in Bitcoin, and it works by solving a computationally difficult challenge to provide an easy way of creating new blocks. And the next is proof of start. In this, validators will be able to generate a new block based on the network economic start. Ethereum was the first cryptocurrency to use a POS algorithm. And delegated proof of work. In this approach, miners are responsible for locating the delegates to conduct activities like constructing, validating, and verifying votes. It chooses its block producer based on the votes of all stakeholders. In this approach, miners, practical Byzantine fault tolerance. This strategy was offered as a peaceful solution to Byzantine general network defeaters and data. And blockchain applications. Blockchain was used in various applications. I have included the first one is for voting. Author Highbury created a safe system based on blockchain technology. It was reality-based synchronized model of vote records intended to forge to authentication and non-reputation. The paper was created a user credential model based on ACC. Finally, they devised a withdrawal model that would allow voters to alter their votes. They have used a SHA-256 algorithm to generate a hash values. And the other paper, crypto voting, was introduced as a novel electronic voting mechanism. In that system, the voting process is divided into three phases, like voting management, vote counting, electoral list formation. Permission blockchain with two connected chains and one-way side chain was utilized in this crypto voting system. As a result, the system was able to save time while voting in other countries, manage electoral list automatically, integrate the identification process with advanced voting secrecy, and ensure voting security in an automated and reliable manner. And in other authors see Victoria the Ethereum blockchain with smart contracts to build a self-sovereign identity to safeguard the security of Aadhaar. The system allows users to create and manage their credentials without relying on any central authority. K256 algorithm was used to generate hash values, and further Aadhaar information is encrypted and saved in IPFS. In banking, Abdullah proposed a system to create a KYC document in one bank, and using the customer's private key, the customers can able to share their KYC and used in another bank also. In healthcare, Kristen Enrichs proposed a system in which sensors communicate with smart device that executes smart contracts and logs all event on a private Ethereum-based blockchain. By sending real-time announcement to patients and medical specialists, this smart contract solution will enable real-time case monitoring and medical intervention while also providing a secure record of who has set up the condition. This would address several security concerns associated with remote case monitoring, as well as automate HIPAA compliant announcement delivery to all parties involved. And in e-government, they proposed a system called e-government peer-to-peer system, in which any new e-government device or individual device joining the system is reviewed by existing network peers using DBOS, and one of the peers is selected to set up a network node and a new user registered with the system or one of the government department, the user is given a user ID as well as blockchain wallet to gather and store the transactions. In education, Raj Anand proposed a secure off-chain storage system for storing and sharing student credentials between the stakeholders. They created using Ethereum blockchain with 9 smart contracts. They used background technologies like MetaMask, Web3.js for client-side applications, EasyJS for encryption package, and React frameworks. In agriculture, Tamhid Hassan Kanlo proposed a system that uses blockchain as a backbone, while IoT collects data from the field and smart contracts control trade between all of the contributing factions. And in cloud, they have proposed security of cloud-based data by leveraging the blockchain. It allows users to store data on the cloud while still ensuring the privacy of the information through visible access control mechanisms. Users must first, in that system, must first create an account and log in to upload and view their files before using the app. Google Cloud Storage is a cloud storage service they have used to save the documents from their local hard drives to the cloud. And Google Cloud Function is a storage data they have used. And this is a literature survey. So as I said in applications, I took privacy protected blockchain-based architecture and implementation for sharing of student credentials. The authors are Raj Anand and Madhusankar Liangi, and the descriptions of this paper is this paper enables stakeholders to share and store student credentials in an insecure blockchain environment. In a secure blockchain environment, the chain context. In future, they try to implement in permission blockchain. The advantage of this paper is it improves scalability and reduces the cost of transaction. And the students got complete ownership and also access controls of the credentials through privacy protected architecture. And in voting, they present a technique to exploit blockchain in P2P network to improve the security of e-voting based DLT and ECC. The methods they have used is SHA-256 and ECC. And coming to recent and future trends of blockchain. So this picture presents the blockchain technology in different countries. In Switzerland, on November 15, 2017, through the registry department, the government of this province launched the issuance of digital IDs based on Ethereum. In child, on April 19, National Energy Commission used Ethereum blockchain in energy to track data and plans to innovate. In Estonia, on 18th December 2017, Estonia established use of Ethereum blockchain. In UK, they have developed welfare payment and student loans. In Georgia, land tension blockchain was developed on December 3rd, 2017. And in Australia, tourism in Queensland was developed. The government announced to easy payment for services and goods through crypto. In Singapore, finance department on October 13, 2017, interbank payment or made in Singapore using blockchain concepts. In India, digital economy, Indian government worked to assure in a digital economy. And trends for blockchain technology in 2012. So these are the trends: eco-friendly blockchain, digital currencies issued by central banks, the metaverse rise, vaccine manufacturing and tracking using blockchain technology. So these are the challenges in blockchain technology: privacy, scalability, interoperability, and selfish mining. Scalability is Bitcoin network can only process 7 transactions per second, which is insufficient to meet the demand of processing millions of transactions in real time. Blockchain storage will be improved, reduced by improving blockchain storage. We can reduce scalability. Redesigning blockchain, another option to handle scalability. And in privacy, the primary goal of blockchain is to protect confidential data. Making joint claim that blockchain cannot guarantee transactional privacy because of details and balances of public key or visible to everyone in the network. To address this, coin shuffle and coin join was used to ensure anonymity. To handle interoperability, one-chain technology is a new technology allows to transmission of value and for selfish mining, selfish miners keep their mine blocks private and only reveal private balance to the public if such conditions are met. Hillman proposed a technique for honest miners to choose which branch to follow to solve selfish mining. And in conclusion, using blockchain technology, it's feasible to induce the help of a large number of internet nets without having to rely on third party. With its fundamental properties of decentralization, consistency, and secrecy, blockchain has demonstrated its ability to disrupt traditional ceremonies. This paper is carried out with a complete overview of blockchain application. This study is intended to serve as a good reference for crafting blockchain architecture, including its categories, consensus algorithms, limitations, and future factors. Further, the blockchain tech operations vary considerably from application to application. Those mechanisms were clarified in the study. From the literature survey, it was spotted that the Ethereum blockchain is the most common platform used to create any secure application. It's early to predict what lies ahead, but the blockchain futures appears bright, and it can be concluded that blockchain is also here to stay. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was an exhaustive presentation on blockchain management. I would like you to work more on how it can be implemented in a particular problem statement. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I'm happy to propose the vote of thanks for this session. On behalf of management, principal, vice principal, and the faculty of computational studies, we express our sincere thanks to our guest, Dr. Balaganesh, Dean, Faculty of Computer Science and Multimedia, Lincoln University College, Malaysia, for accepting our invite and chair this session. We place our sincere thanks to Dr. S. Deepa ma'am, Research Director of Sachin Jain College, for also shared the session. Thank you, ma'am. Our heartfelt thanks to all the participants for your efforts to share your valuable research work in this forum. I thank you all once again. I request the participants to fill in the feedback link and also request you to stay tuned in the same link for the valedictory function. The valedictory function will start by 12:15. Thank you all.
Welcome, Justina ma'am from Poland. Thank you so much for joining us. And welcome, Joanna ma'am. Thank you so much for joining us. We are waiting for another guest to join. Once he joins, we shall start the valedictory function.
Srividya ma'am. Chief guest has joined, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. A very good afternoon. Welcome back, all of you, for the valedictory session. I hope all of us have gathered here after an enriching session with extensive knowledge sharing, standing testimony to the quote, an investment in knowledge pays the best interest. We have with us the chief guest, Dr. Ravi Shankar, Director, Data Science. We have our guest of honor, Dr. Joanna Rosak and Dr. Ins Justina, Department of Production Engineering and Safety, Faculty of Management, Czestochowa University of Technology, Poland. Thank you all for joining us this afternoon, making the platform filled with intellectuals. May I now request Madam Vice Principal, Dr. Rukmini, to welcome the gathering and introduce our chief guest.
The technical team, please unmute Vice Principal ma'am.
Rukmani ma'am is not here.
Ms. Priyadarshini, can you please unmute? Ma'am has joined in the name admin.
Sorry for the technical glitch. I feel immensely happy to welcome and introduce the chief guest for the valedictory session of the 3rd International Conference on Recent Advances in Computing and Communication. Dr. Ravi Balasubramanian is the Director of Data Science and Analytics at Walmart Global Tech India. Dr. Ravi is a data science practice leader with strong engineering and product development background, developing enterprise AI solutions. He is a technology leader with broad international experience sought out for IoT, Edge, and Industry 4.0 digital transformation initiatives to drive enterprise-wide strategy and execution. He leads a team of data scientists, analysts, and machine learning engineers, building reusable data products and AI solutions in areas such as supply chain, omni-channel merchandising, Customer 360 Analytics, and Walmart Plus member growth, Walmart's premium loyalty program. Prior to joining Walmart, he served as VP of Data Science at Noodle.ai, building data science products for manufacturing and supply chain verticals. He has filed 7 patents till date on smart insights, anomaly detection, and alerting systems. Dr. Ravi has a PhD in computational engineering from Mississippi State University, USA, and a BTech honors in mechanical engineering from BITS Pilani, India. Thank you for joining us today, sir, and I welcome all the participants and guests who have joined us today.
Thank you, ma'am. I now invite Dr. Uma Mageshwari, Assistant Professor and Head, PG and Research Department of Computer Science, to present us with the conference report.
Good day to one and all present here. It is my privilege to present you with the report of the 3rd International Conference on theme Recent Advances in Computing and Communication, organized by IQAC and the School of Computational Sciences in collaboration with Lincoln University College, Malaysia. The conference started with prayer. Madam Principal Dr. S. Padmavati welcomed the gathering and gave us an insight on various tech-savvy practices followed in our college. Conference convener Dr. B. Gomati presented the theme of the conference. Chief guest Dr. Balaganesh Duraisamy from Lincoln University College, Malaysia shared positive and encouraging words with the participants. The conference proceedings was released by the dignitaries virtually. Inauguration was followed by technical sessions, which ran simultaneously across 4 tracks. Technical session 1 was chaired by Dr. Balaganesh Duraisamy from Lincoln University, Malaysia. Technical session 2 was chaired by Dr. Victoria Priscilla from SDNB Vaishnav College for Women. Technical session 3 was chaired by Dr. Akila Ganesh from Wales Institute of Advanced Studies. And technical session 4 by Dr. S.T. Deepa, Research Director of Sri Shankarlal Sundarbai Sashun Jain College for Women. The papers presented gave extensive information and insights into IoT, artificial intelligence, machine learning, neural networks, image processing, 5G technology, to name a few. The chairpersons of the sessions gave their expert feedback and suggestions after each participant's presentation. A total of 70 technical papers on various topics supported by cutting-edge technologies were received, and out of which 57 papers were accepted and listed in the conference proceedings of ICRACC 2022 after careful scrutiny and double-blinded review. Plagiarism tools like Urkun and Turnitin were used to ensure originality of the research contributions and were sent for further review upon meeting the acceptance level of similarity index. We feel extremely proud that many of the articles would be published in Scopus Index and UGC CAR listed journals. All the papers were reviewed by a team of internal and external reviewers and evaluated using plagiarism softwares. The valedictory session was based by Dr. Ravi Shankar, Director Data Science, Dr. Joanna Rozak, and Dr. Ins Justina from Czechoslovakia University Technology, Poland. It gives a great sense of satisfaction as the conference has served as a solid platform for the participants to exchange knowledge and ideas, discuss key approaches and unsolved open problems among fellow researchers, academicians, and technical experts from diverse areas towards the common goal of shaping the future of the society through the state-of-art developments. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, ma'am. It's my privilege to invite Dr. Ravi Shankar sir to share a few words with us.
Thank you very much for inviting me. It's an honor to be a part of your session and proceedings. And I think when I was actually listening to the report, I think you had a wonderful conference with many technical sessions as well. So a good round of congratulations to the people who have organized the conference. Plus also, I had in my prior life also organized conferences. So a lot of efforts actually go in when you actually set up technical conferences, technical sessions. The amount of coordination that is actually needed with the speakers, the presenters in terms of let's say receiving papers, reviewing the papers, and then post review and coordinating for the session presentations. And I believe they had, I think, done a wonderful conference. So a big round of congratulations, and thanks for inviting me to present the closing notes as well. As I saw in the invite, there is maybe I would call it like a coincidence or something that was interesting that caught my eye, was actually an association with computational science. And my actually PhD work was actually computational engineering. This was way back in I'm going back 2000. And where that's when the kind of like say that the whole field of computational science, computational engineering, which because it is an interdisciplinary program where you are mixing up sciences, math, computer science, and then of course high performance computing systems, and so you are kind of like say doing a integrated or an interdisciplinary kind of like say program. So I'm just was happy to kind of like say do one more association of my old what I did in my past 2 decades ago to kind of like say that the theme of the conference is also a part of collaboration also is there through a computational science team. And just to introduce myself, I currently serve as a director of data science at Walmart Global Tech India Limited. And part of my job responsibilities, I manage about a team of about 60 plus data scientists and what we call data analysts and machine learning engineers. We touch various business problems of Walmart, whether it is related to building chatbots to improve customer experiences, or working with our planners and merchants on and supply chain planning at our various, like what we call distribution centers or fulfillment centers or stores, or problems in area of essentially, because nowadays none of us with I think past 2 years, most of your shopping behaviors have also changed. And I think when you used to actually go to a shop, I tell this joke as well, because I have actually seen my mom go and buy in Tamil it's vendakai, essentially okra or lady's finger, right? If you had seen in the way we actually grew up, the way in people associated in a southern part of India, when they actually go on and buy lady's finger, they will look for what we call it has to be in such a condition that they will keep breaking the tip of the lady's finger just to test how tender it is, and then only they will buy. Now my mom is also now ordering through online. She is trusting a Dunzo guy to actually go and pick lady's finger, or they actually call a shop and then have it actually delivered. So the ways of shopping has also changed now. Like I used to see them haggle in front of some vegetable seller. Is now we are placing orders online through Big Basket or different what we call shopping mechanisms, right? So this is also no. So what that means is, as a retailer, my customer expectations and customer behaviors have also changed. So we are also now preparing and trying to adjust the way how we actually make the experience for our shoppers and customers as enriching as the way they kind of say go and shop in a store. So how do I make the items that they are actually searching for visible? How do I actually provide associated items when they actually search for certain things, or are more relevant items? And the whole, say from the add to cart to the shopping experience to the delivery, and sometimes if they have any issues in terms of the returns, all of that is now part of our everyday shopping as well. And I think most of us now exist in what I call an omni-channel world, where we go to a store, we order online, we order online and then pick up something from the store or get it delivered. There is different mechanisms that as consumers or shoppers, we interact with what we call retailers. And so that is actually a problem statement to my team in how do I make that shopper, the customer's experience with us, whichever mechanism or whichever channel they are shopping through us, as enriching and as smooth and seamless. So which is kind of one problem statement we work with always. So there is a facet here that we typically call customer centricity, or keeping the customer in kind of in the middle of what you do, right? So as Walmart, what we have, it is customer first, because we are any retailers or anybody who is running a shop or any entrepreneur, you will always say, I am actually running with a customer first mindset. So it comes to us as well. So we want to keep customer as central to the way we enable decision making, the way we actually serve them. So there are distinct data science problems also here, because as I heard, we talked about there was an NLP related or natural language processing related talk that I saw something related to chatbots. I also saw something related to image processing. So all these applications are different facets of AI applications we also do as well. And when you so when I will give 1 or 2 examples, and then I would talk a little bit about maybe a data science career for the students, and I will wrap up. And if I'm actually exceeding my allotted time, also please tell me. And I'm actually getting a forum to talk. I may keep talking, and I don't want to make you guys wait or not feel bored as well. So ping me from a time perspective as well. I'll just pick the example of what we call the chatbots, or the experience we are trying to provide people, right? So what is a chatbot? So there are, I think now most of you are familiar with bots. If you are actually now ordered items in, like, say, PhonePe, or you are kind of, like, say, ordered items in Decathlon or Big Basket. Now if you have to go and reach, or either in Amazon or like our Flipkart, right? What you end up seeing is now you have to return the item, or you are looking for some item that is not available, or some ways you are trying to reach a customer support person. A lot of times the first way of interaction nowadays is it's a chatbot. So chatbot is like it's to enable a smooth customer experience, because there are predefined workflows that you are now helping the shopper to actually interact for certain, actually, what we call queries and certain kind of, like, say, answers, right? But how do a chatbot actually get built? If I want to unpack, like, say, from you as a user, you are actually interfacing with a chatbot with different names. But to build a chatbot, what is actually needed? From an AI perspective, there is natural language processing algorithms, there is NLU algorithms. We need to know when a customer actually comes and types, we need to know the intent he's actually reaching out for. Is it related to some return, or is it related to some delivery getting delayed, or is it related to actually some exchange, and is it aspects of like, say, something was, so that there is nuances to the intent for why they are reaching out to us. And then the chatbot algorithms also need to understand the intent of the customer, and then associated with the right kind of, like, say, the response mechanism that we want to actually provide. And I think that the key here, it is, like, say, make it as interactive as, like, say, talking to a human. Typically, the challenge we come here, it is, like, say, I don't have enough persons able to handle the number of queries we will come back with. That's where there is the bot, instead of, like, say, me waiting in line for 30 minutes to actually talk to a representative, the bot plays the role of being a smooth customer experience, like, say, an AI enabling tool, right? Essentially. And part of that, there is also an engineering workflow, and we kind of, like, say, look for whether it is where we actually build that stack. Once I actually now bring my data science element to it, from a query to a kind of, like, say, understanding the query, and going to actually responding back to the query, and also the time that the consumer interacted with the bot, and the overall experience from the bot, and like, say, the whole the interaction, and the way we are also able to respond in the time, essentially, the bot responses also, right? This is actually, I'm just bringing an example. So when I now connected this story of bot to Walmart, right, we have an interesting application called like, say, voice ordering. So what this means is, like, say, we are now most of you, I think, at home or even in the phones you have, there is a Google Android voice, or, like, say, the iOS, like, say, Siri, or all the mobile devices you are handling, they are also have a voice enabled option as well. And then sometimes you say, call my friend, you call the name, it actually recognizes it, and then it now calls the friend. So when you do something like that, if you think of it, right, I say, call this person. What that means is, now you are making the chatbot recognize I'm actually asking you to call someone. So call is my intent, and then you are now kind of, like, say, telling the name. So name is who you should actually be reach out. So the bot is now connecting the dots from, say, I need to call this person, I need to make a phone call, but this is the person. And if you have multiple names, same names, because sometimes that also happens, it has to understand the right name and then calls the person. For us, when we are actually running a catalog of 2 million, 3 million items, right, what we are trying to do is enabling ordering through voice bots, or what we call voice enabled bots. So we have an integration where, through an Android or a iPhone device, I can say, hey, I need 3, like, say, liters of milk, or I need this kind of, like, say, biscuits or cookies or bananas or whatever, right? So that we are actually now enabling for our customers because of the way we want to enable customer experience. So when we talk of like a chatbot application, now it has from chat is a query. Now we had actually moved it to a voice bot application. And then the way now we are leveraging NLP, like say conversational voice, is it like say make our customer experience the way they actually order us. It's like say they don't have to go to a website and then like say search for a certain thing and then add it to the cart and then complete the order and placement. Now the order experiences can be done through kind of like say through our voice enabled bot. This is just an AI application. I'm kind of like say giving as an example for the group here, and maybe I will now close my note with broadly from a data science career perspective, or like say the skill sets that we kind of like say need from a data science perspective. And I know your students are science students, there is commerce students, and like say with economics or different science backgrounds, and I think maybe where I will start for students is the key one is it's whenever I talk of somebody being a data scientist, the first requirement we typically say is that the attitude they bring, the curiosity of their mind, because what you are trying to do, what is truly data science, right? I am actually leveraging data and I'm able to explore the data and trying to actually look for insights in the data and make the insights actionable and kind of like say either influence decisions or change the direction of like say my execution or planning. So that is what you are trying to power through data. And so the fundamental then requirement is somebody who is curious to learn, who is curious to explore data. Then comes to the skills part of like say whether it is related to natural language processing, whether it is related to kind of like say time series forecasting, or whether it is related to some other like say or image processing. So these are like say different what we call skill sets, or different work streams, or different application area people can actually build career on, because people can actually become experts in natural language processing. Then there are actually requests now where we are actually scanning contract documents and then trying to extract data from contract documents, or we are actually reading legal documents and trying to actually provide summaries. And from a time series forecasting perspective, we are almost all of us now every shop is trying to actually forecast the demand versus supply, how to plan for it weeks in advance. When I look for image processing, there is safety elements of how we actually leverage image processing, or in factory settings, how they are actually managing quality of like say stuff coming out of like say those factories. There are different application areas, and so there is the way how you are kind of like say getting some speciality in like say the niche areas in like say in data science. And then it comes to the next levels of the kind of like say the programming languages, whether it is Python or like say or like say SQL or BigQuery, and then within there now I come to the statistical skills and like say the statistical depth I kind of like say bring here from a like a broader machine learning data science perspective. I think I kind of like say took more than 20 plus minutes. With that, I will finish my talk, and again a note of congratulations to this group, and thank you for inviting me again.
Thank you very much, sir. The briefing on how shopping has evolved over the years and the role of data science in understanding customer behavior to serve them better should definitely help research fraternity to expand their wings on these scores and achieve it. So you've also given us the industry perception of the domains of discussion in today's conference. Thank you very much, sir, for that. I now invite Dr. S.T. Deepa ma'am to introduce our guests of honor.
Hello. Hello. Do you hear me?
Yes, Joanna. Give me a minute to introduce you.
Okay.
Good afternoon and welcome you all for the valedictory session of the International Conference. I am delighted to introduce Dr. Joanna Rosak, Assistant Professor, Author, Co-author of 221 scientific publications in prestigious journals, chapters and monographs and conference material, co-author of 20 scientific monographs and author of 4 scientific monographs. She has completed numerous research internships, both in Poland and abroad. She is a participant of Erasmus International Exchange, as a part of which she has conducted a series of lectures in England, Italy, and France. And I'm happy to introduce Justina, who works as an assistant professor in Setsova University of Technology at the Faculty of Management in the Department of Production and Safety Engineering. She is recognized in Poland and abroad for her experience in management issues, knowledge and information management, as well as in their security. She has published over 143 articles, manuscript, and is the author, co-author, and editor of 7 books. She actively participated in presenting research results at various international conferences. She deals with data protection, personal data protection officer, and the leading auditor of ISO 27001-2018. Promotion of many engineers and masters for the second term of office. She is a disciplinary spokesperson for students. She is active in many organizations supporting scientific and business activities. Thank you so much, Joanna and Justina, for being here. Thank you so much, and over to you.
Thank you so much. I am very happy to be with you, and thank you so much for your invitation. I work at Częstochowa University of Technology in Poland, and I am also Erasmus coordinator, so I am open for cooperation. Yes, we publish a lot together with my friend Justina. We have an experience in this area. Moreover, I invite you to look for our ResearchGate, where we are guest editor of Energies, MDPI, as well as International Journal of Public Health, also in MDPI. This year we are lucky and we are very happy because we have success connected with EEE Access journal. I'm sure that you know this journal. This is very hard to publish paper over there. We fight with this paper more than 8 weeks, more than 8 months. So, but we finish with lucky. So we have an experience, we know what is important to publish paper in good journals. So I hope that we will be able to help you, to give you some experience, what to do, what to take into consideration to publish paper in this journal. We are very happy that we can cooperate with you. So I hope that we will help you and we will give you any advice. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, ma'am. May I now invite Ms. Justin, please, to share a few words with us.
Justina? I don't know what's going on. Justyna, pokaż się. I don't know, maybe she has some problems with internet. But we work together and I don't know what's going on with her.
All right, I think there is some technical network issue with her.
Maybe.
All right, ma'am, we will proceed. We have now come to the end of the 3rd International Conference, ICRACC 2022. Yet another conference in virtual mode. But why? Being from the field of computer science, we thought, why not? Why not we make the world come closer using the technology and engage ourselves in massive technology exchange? Thank you all for joining us today from across the globe and making it a grand success. We will be posting the feedback link in the chat window. Please take 2 minutes of your time to record your response, which will help us to keep improving. Thank you very much. The participants will receive their certificate within 10 days. And you can always write to the email address posted in the chat window for any queries with respect to the conference, proceedings, publications. Thank you all once again. I now request Dr. Gomati join. All right. Thank you, ma'am. May I now invite, before we wind up, we will just hear from Dr. Justina. Ma'am, please, over to you.
Ma'am can wind up, but I think she couldn't connect again. Like she got disconnected.
Ma'am, we'll wait for her to get over the glitch, or shall we proceed?
I sent her a message, so I don't know what's going on. Maybe I will call her. Okay.
I think we waited enough. Ma'am, I think her problem is still continuing. I now request Dr. Gomati, Associate Professor and Head, Department of Computer Science, to propose the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon to one and all present here. I deem it a great honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks on behalf of School of Computational Science of our college. Our heartiest gratitude and sincere thanks to the Honorable Chief Guest of the day, Dr. Ravi Shankar Balasubramaniam, Director Data Science, Walmart, for gracing this occasion amidst his busy schedule. Thank you, Ravi. We express our sincere thanks to our guest of honor, Dr. Joanna and Dr. Justina Chestkova, University of Technology, Poland, for accepting our invite and joining this conference. Our sincere gratitude to our beloved Secretary, Srimati Ushaji, and our Associate Secretary, Dr. Harish Mehta, and members of our college management for supporting us and inspiring us endlessly. We are grateful to our beloved Principal, Dr. S. Padmavati, and Vice Principal Ma'am Dr. S. Rukmani for their everlasting guidance, support, and encouragement. Our earnest thanks to the resource person, Dr. Balaganesh, Dr. Victoria Priscilla, Dr. Akila Ganesh, and Dr. S.T. Deepa for accepting our invite and sharing their expertise. We thank all the faculties, research scholars, students of various institutions for joining this event. Our last but not the least, our sincere thanks to the technical team of the college for extending their support. Once again, my heartfelt thanks to everyone present here. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am. We will now end the conference with the national anthem.
Bhagya Vidana, Panchama